Hello YouTube creators and subscribers, I just wanted to thank you all for tuning into my video. Today we're going to be going through the Deep Web, episode 33. So, let's begin. As always, we start with the disclaimer. The following video contains content that may be illegal in your residence. We are not responsible for your actions on the Deep Web, and will not be held liable for your actions when going on the Deep Web. Alright, so let's begin. So the first site usually is Not Evil. Unfortunately, Not Evil no longer exists, and probably having some kind of server maintenance done for that website. So we started off with a different website this week, and we're at, looks like a long onion URL with a blog type situation. And the post, it looks like, was in 2018. So it says, Onion. I moved to an onion. This onion is like the web, but smells differently. You need a special pillar to get here. But if you're here, then you already have the pillar. And I do believe we went to the site before, but this is an explanation of what the deep web is. It's not like a real onion, so you can't taste it. There are other options besides the onion. You could cook onions using directions, but some of these directions are bad. I'm an okay cook too, but I don't know how to cook all those onions. I just know that this one because I cooked it. I'm not actually eating anything right now. Eating is weird. You put food in your mouth and it turns into sludge before going down to your stomach, where it turns into more sludge, and then it comes out as even more sludge, or mostly sludge. Today, I thought about onions. Friday, January 12th. 2018. Update Sunday, August 11, 2019. Today I moved to another onion. This is another deep web website, but we're not going to click on it because I actually didn't pre-screen it. Make sure that it's legitimate or something that's not bad. But so there's another link and it says it's the onion before, but grows differently. It's also longer, which means it's better. Things are better when longer, unless they're not better. In which case, you should make them shorter. So it's basically a blog about this website. I don't want to go to the main URL, but as you can see right here, this is the main URL, and it's going to bring a person to a bunch of different posts. I'm assuming similar to this blog post. There's not much to say about it, other than that it is a post, blog type situation on the deep web. So let's go to the next website. Alright, the next website is deepweblinks.org. And now I know this isn't a .onion website, but it does reference to a bunch of different onions. So we're going to go through this list and sort of go over the legitimate and legal links. So it says at the top, to browse .onion dark web links, you install Tor browser. Okay, so they have the Tor browser link. Many links on the deep web are now outdated. For up-to-date deep web links, check out the following .onion. So they have an updated list too as well. Alright, so they list a bunch of hidden services. Now, specific hidden services that I like to use is the Onion DIO. It's basically a list of links that are contained on the deep web. Another one is Tor Search. That's a pretty good search browser for the deep web. And as you can see, they have a bunch of other stuff like, I don't know, Bitcoin, hacking scams, Apple, carded stores, European arms, which is going to be guns, USA citizenships, things of that nature. Of course, on the deep web, there's always that kind of thing that's basically illegal. But yeah, that's basically the website that contains a bunch of different new links that are available on the deep web. So we're going to back out and go to the next one. Alright, so this website, pretty cool. I found it today, and basically it's a blog. It's written by Tech Athletes or something like that. And they teach a person how to build a search engine from scratch. A whirlwind tour of big ideas powering our web search. So I'm pretty sure it goes into detail about coding and developing your own website. You will need a bootstrap, it looks like, and then you would have to put it together. So let's see if we can find some information about it. So they're basically saying like there's when developing their own search browser, web browser, there's a few things to consider. Serving a massive size of people and having that index constantly update. So that's one issue. The engineering of the cost involving crawling and sanitizing the web at scale, which again is probably pretty pricey. You need users to get more users and finding relevant pages amongst all the noise on the web. So they go into detail about querying. You would have to add your code right here into the web browser. And where would they put that? It says the example below is from a truncated version of the page model that we have at the moment for a particular CNN article on Tesla. The scores associated with the query are computed as a function and its frequency. So these are a function right here. It gets this information and the number of times the URL pair was seen on our log. So it gets really in depth about coding, about language. This right here is language attributes. I do believe associated with number. Yeah, Australia, UK, Dutchland, France, USA, Spanish, Spain. It's pretty cool. So it goes into detail. It's a really, really long article about how to actually develop a small-scaled web browser. But once again, like they stated, it's going to take a lot of money and infrastructure to actually put a web browser that a lot of people are going to use on the internet. So realistically, it would take a lot of money, time, and hardware to actually make it a possibility. So we're going to back out and go to the next one. All right, the next website is SearchX. It's a web browser on the deep web. It's hackable meta search engine, and it's a private respecting engine. I don't know how valid it is. Let's go ahead and search up crawler, which is something that I've been trying to find ever since I got back on the deep web. And they're basically non-existent. Fresh Onions doesn't exist anymore. Tor66 doesn't exist anymore. And I haven't been on the deep web in like, I don't know, I think probably a month. Some other websites don't exist anymore that were helpful and efficient to find websites interesting for the deep web series. So it looks like it's a pretty cool web browser. It has actually the capability to filter out files, images, maps, and music, among other things. So actually it looks like it works pretty good, but the main thing is that it goes only to the surface web website, so it's not actually going to the deep web. It's going to websites that are more generically named with a .com. So it wouldn't necessarily be a useful browser for the series, but it seems like it's pretty legitimate. Alright, so the next deep web website is Onion Drive, Deep Web Link Directory, your copy and paste friendly .onion link list. Feel free to copy this list to forums, paste bins, etc. so people can find hidden services that actually work. And you could add new links here. So they got a bunch of different links. When visiting these types of websites, please be very careful not to click on something that's going to be illegal. So if it's going to say like Hitman for Hire, you probably don't want to click on that. Or if it says like drugs or anything that's illegal, I would definitely be wary and not click on those links. But basically this is a resource website that provides a person with a lot of different .onions that could help them search the deep web. They have legitimate safe links at the top, more like web browsers that you would find on like Google and Opera. And then they have more like money services, so like mobile store. They got the Hitman Network, which I was talking about, Hackintosh, which is basically a hacked version of a Mac OS. They got the carding store. They got a bunch of different options and a bunch of different websites. But once again, like I said, be wary when you're clicking on links, because I'm not responsible for anybody going on a website that potentially brought them trouble. So basically that is it. We're going to go ahead and back out and go to the next website. Alright, the next website is Amahamia. Hopefully I pronounced that correct. Once again, it's a search browser. It's a web browser that you could find .onion links that are existing on the deep web. Not much to say, we're not going to actually browse through that right now. Alright, so next is the Onion Soup. It's an Onion Soup blog, which looks like it's basically different websites that exist on the deep web. Alright, so welcome to my Onion blog. The subjects explored will be diverse, but the main focus will be on criticizing the local laws and breakdown of rational in US politics. On the right and on this page are a collection of links to Onion sites. Immediately below, there are apps to test the connectivity of Onion domains running on a port 80. Sometimes if you are lagging connection, a domain may be timing out, or an error message will be received. With this app, you could test the availability of the Onion domain. Okay, so he has a few tools right here. To detect whether an Onion IRC domain is online, use the tool above. Query the domain by selecting IRC in the drop-down list regarding this site. Alright, so let's go ahead to his random political thoughts. And it's based off of the dates ranging from 2013 all the way from 2018. Alright, so list 1. For expressing ideas, my Huguenot and Quaker ancestors were tortured in the European dungeons. In the late 1700s and 1800s, they fled the dungeons of the New World on fire with the cause of freedom and equality. They helped found Penn's colony, waged a centuries-long political struggle against human enslavement, and during the Revolution, a few were convinced a sedation against the crown. By numerous sources, it was reported that they sneered at the hangman as they were hanged. Looking back objectively at their deeds and writings after the dungeons and the tortures, my ancestors were batshit crazy, but in a noble way. Torture is a nastily efficient means of radicalizing its victims, but the persecution of European heretics, dissidents, dreamers, and utopians, there'd not be no America. No reason for those who invented it to have quit Europe. My ancestors were dungeon people, activists, and rebellion. They referred to themselves as such, and they were always proud of the facts. I'm a genetic and philosophical descendant of the dungeon people, the activists, and who sacrificed their lives to midwife America into being, and I'm immensely proud of that. So he's basically talking about his history, how his ancestors are direct descendants of the creators of America, and how he's stating that in the 1700s, his ancestors were getting tortured and killed because of their freedom, their revolutionary ideas of being free. So yeah, that's basically it. They have a lot of blogging posts. As you can see, it's probably several pages long. Goes into detail, and then you have a bunch of different articles too as well. So let's see, Boston, not going to read that one. Out of Body, Out of Mind, Probing the Human Crypto Office. So like I said, bunch of different options, a bunch of different important reads that you could check out. So we're going to go ahead and back out, and we're going to go to the next website. Alright, the next website is a indexer. It's an Onion indexer that allows you to find new and old Onion hidden services. So it says, hello friend, welcome to my non-so-fancy Onion indexer. On the links below, you could visit Onion hidden services that have been generated by public bots. There are a few two sets, all working websites, HTTP response conduits, and new working websites found for the last 24 hours. Both lists are updated 24 hours, every 24 hours. Enjoy the lists. So I did open the lists, two of them. the newest list, it looks like, is basically a French site. It has, I don't know what that means, 200 title, and it's French chain. And then they have the old link list, which is tons of freaking links long. But as you can see, they got some illegitimate things, and then some pretty interesting websites if you're able to actually find the important websites. So like this one, Joan van Branen, which is, I do believe, a space engineer. So it has his books right there. They have a distributed denial of secrets, which probably contains a lot of secrets that are probably want to be kept under lock vaults by the governments of the world. And then they have, let's see, what other websites that are legitimate? They have some like Bitcoin quality websites, something like that. Celebrity Underground, wonder what that is. Deep web hosting, they have Facebook. So yeah, they have a bunch of links. Some of are illegitimate and sort of stupid. Some other links are basically legitimate and are a product of sort of imagination and creativity. So basically that is it. We're going to back out and go to the next website. Alright, so the next website is torlinks.onion links list. And we're not going to go into detail. It's like some of the other websites that we went through before. It contains a plethora of links that are featured on the deep web. Some are legitimate, some are illegitimate, that contain some information that could be used for teaching or for learning something. Other is used for nefarious criminal activities, like, you know, selling money or printed money or fake money or, you know, stolen credit cards, things of that nature. So like I said earlier, be wary on the links that you click if you visit this website. And as always, we're not responsible here at the World Timeline channel for anybody's mistake of clicking on the wrong link while on the deep web. So basically that is it for this episode. I do want to thank you for tuning in. If you enjoyed what you saw, please like, comment, and subscribe. And you have a good afternoon or evening.